Can we make this pop? Can we make the logo bigger? I really like the colors, but can you change it? Just make it more creative. Can you use something between serif and sans serif? I'll know it when I see it. Feedback like that leaves far too much room for interpretation and will result in yet another round of feedback and changes that nobody wants to go through. Not to mention, feedback like make it pop might actually make your designer want to throw their laptop out of the window. For those assigning work to designers, it can be frustrating to provide a detailed brief only to have the designer take complete creative control and not fulfill the project outline that you had envisioned. But when feedback is embedded into the design process and it's done properly, it can dramatically improve the end results and is ultimately a win-win for everybody. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to give effective design feedback. As you start to level up your design feedback skills, you might be wondering a few things. What is the role of feedback in the design process? When is the ideal time to give design feedback? What type of feedback produces the best results? Who should be looped into the feedback process? What are examples of constructive feedback? Whatever happened to Leo at the end of Inception? Was his top still spinning? Was it all a dream? Are those kids even real? Am I dreaming right now? I'll be tackling all of this, except for the Inception related stuff. Let's dive right in. The importance of effective design feedback. Feedback is essential to the design process. That's because most designers aren't designing for themselves, but instead they're fulfilling a brief for someone else. So whether that's a social media campaign for marketing, a set of icons for the product team, or custom napkins for the events team, every piece a designer works on will go through a set of revisions, especially the napkins. That's very important stuff. Enter design feedback. When delivered effectively, design feedback can help designers grow, speed up projects, and get the results that you envision. As a manager or a client, you should think of every design as an opportunity to provide constructive feedback to help your designers level up their skills. And it also helps to build a better understanding of your brand or your client's brand or Russell brand. When you pair clear expectations with effective feedback, you and your designers are more likely to finish each project faster. That means less time sharing feedback back and forth, and more time creating beautiful, beautiful designs. And as a non-designer giving design feedback, delivering it effectively ensures that the design that you get in the end is the one that you envisioned, or even better than you could have ever imagined. Now that we understand the impact of effective design, let's tackle how to give design feedback the right way. So here are 7 ways to give better design feedback. Number 1, implement a standardized revision model. It's important to standardize your design process because not only will it help you set expectations with your designers, but it'll also make it easier for you to manage as well. A simple revision process would look like this. First, decide on key stakeholders at the start of the project. Then create a design brief to refer back to throughout the process. Be sure to add visual references and past projects or inspiration to reflect your desired output. And then a defined set of milestones for revisions and changes. For example, you might want the first round to identify major issues, the second round to ensure changes have been made and have small tweaks, and then a final round to approve the final design. Number 2, always direct feedback at the design, not the designer. Okay, so don't take this personally, but yeah, no offense, but we all know that when you start a sentence like this, it's likely that you're about to say something offensive or personal. When sharing feedback, it's important that you remove the designer from the picture and instead focus on the design itself. Here's an example of both good and bad feedback. No offense, but this looks like it was designed by a child. If that child was blind and had no fingers. You know what? Using neon orange text over the neon blue background makes it a little bit hard to read. Can we use another color for the text instead and consider readability for future designs? If you want to maintain a positive relationship with your designers and keep their motivation high throughout the project or even their whole career, never make feedback feel like a personal attack. That's just mean. Don't be mean. Instead, you should share constructive feedback that helps them grow while elevating the design. And this brings us to our next point. Number 3, do not simply provide solutions. Describe the problems instead. This piece of advice is important for both design managers and non-designers. If you're a manager, think of it as an opportunity to help your team grow and develop their skills. This is the type of feedback that a design leader might give their team members to help push them to think of more creative solutions. As a non-designer, don't try to tell your designers how to design. You're not the expert here, they are. Instead, tell them what you're looking for and where the design is currently falling flat. This can include sharing context like, based on the marketing team's data, images with people perform much better compared to those with animals. Unless it's a wiener dog. Everybody loves wiener dogs. It's better to help your designers understand the why behind the changes you request to ensure that they're not just designing in the dark. Also, describing the problems ensures that you don't have to provide the same feedback next time and again and again and again and again and again and again and again. Just tell them why. Number 4, leverage the right tools. If you haven't already, it's a good time to standardize your design team's tech stack. This ensures that all of your files are compatible across the team and everyone has access to giving and receiving feedback. Here are some great tools to consider. Envision, a collaborative digital product design platform that's mainly used by UX designers. Figma, a collaborative design tool that enables teams to build everything from prototypes to designs. Pitch, a presentation software that allows teams to collaboratively build pitch decks and other presentations. Pastel or Markup.io. These are both great tools to review and comment directly on live websites and images. Frame.io. Feedback for video and animation work that lets you leave comments with a timestamp. Keep in mind that when it comes to outsourcing your design work, you'll find that other designers will have their own tech stack. That's totally fine as long as there's a way to provide feedback easily. At Superside, we use our own design operations platform built specifically to reduce unnecessary back and forth feedback. With Superside, you can communicate feedback to designers through a dedicated project manager, comment directly on design projects to centralize feedback, add your teammates for transparency throughout the design process, take the energy directly from the sun and transform it into pure energy that can be used to power beautifully designed electric vehicles. Wait, what? Are you sure? Okay, apparently it doesn't do that last thing. That's Tesla. Number 5, keep all your feedback in one place. Nothing is more frustrating for a designer than having to sift through emails, Slack messages, and disconnected collaboration tools to collect multiple feedback points. That's why it's important that when you share your feedback with your designers, it's all done in one place. Doing this also leaves less room for missing a piece of feedback, requiring you and your designer to go through yet another round of edits that nobody wants to go through. Time and money saved. Now, the place you document your feedback is less important than your consistency of platform. So whether you're using one of the tools I mentioned earlier or defaulting to a single Gmail or Slack thread, just keep all your feedback in one place, for the love of God. Oh, and pro tip, don't give your feedback in tiny little pieces. Package it all neatly together with other stakeholders' feedback in one single, longer update rather than 25 individual emails. Number 6, be descriptive with your feedback. If you want to avoid ever seeing your feedback in an internet meme laughed at by designers from all around the world, it's a good idea to be descriptive with your feedback. Here are some good and bad examples of descriptive feedback. My wife's favorite color is blue. Can we make the website a little bit more blue? Do you think it makes sense to change the navigation menu's font color to blue? I want to include our brand colors more across the website and build familiarity with our audience. Number 7, don't forget about positive feedback. When sharing constructive design feedback, it's important that you're not just focusing on all of the changes you need to make. Instead, start with all of the things that you loved about their work and then move on to the constructive feedback changes that you had in mind. This is also known as the feedback sandwich, and it is delicious. You start with something positive to warm up the discussion, then you add in the constructive feedback that you want to give, and then you end it off with some other positive feedback to soften the constructive criticism. When delivered the right way, feedback can accelerate the design process, keep your designers engaged in the work that they're doing, and deliver a better final result. So the next time you deliver design feedback, don't forget to be specific, leverage the right tools, describe the problems, not just the solutions, implement a standardized revision model, and put extra sauce on that feedback sandwich. And if you'd like to learn more about how to improve your feedback process and scale your design output, check out our Marketer's Guide to Design. You'll access insight from design leaders at Shopify, Twilio, Intercom, and more. The guide breaks down the 4 most common dysfunctions between marketing and design teams and how to solve them. Just go to the link in the description below to get the guide. And subscribe to our channel for more videos on how you can scale your design and be a more effective design leader.